Hey gang, it's day 9 of 30 Day Booty and I'm Tamara, and today we're going to take it a little bit gentler. Since we did a lot of heavy strength yesterday with a little bit more weight, we're going to either go with body weight today or just some very, very light weight. So if you would like to, you can grab a light dumbbell, or if you happen to have some ankle weights, you can use an ankle weight. That's what I'm going to do. I have a 5-pound ankle weight, which is, it's going to be enough for me for this, and I'm putting it around my ankle. And while I'm doing so, I'm going to remind you that you should never, ever, 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 ever walk or run with ankle weights on. It's terrible for your joints, and it's going to wreck you and your body, so don't do it. But if you're doing some strength work, it can actually be a really nice tool. So I'm going to take my action over to my bench. You might have a chair or kitchen counter or whatever it is that you like to hold on to. But we're going to get ourselves just a nice little place to rest. If you would like to use a dumbbell because you don't have ankle weights, you can rest that on your joint, not on the joint, on the bone as we lift. And that'll give you just a little bit of extra resistance. Not too much, but sometimes a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to get my hands way out in front of me, and I'm going to get my back almost flat. I'm going to take the weighted leg, and I'm going to sweep that leg up, and then I'm going to pull it back in. A couple of things I really want you to remember on this is, one, go slowly. I don't want you swinging that leg back and forth. You should have control at the bottom and at the top of that range of motion. Swinging and kicking that leg will do you no favors and will also do you disservice. A couple other things to pay attention to. I'm not taking my torso into it, but I'm trying to hold my torso stable with good posture so that all of that action is from moving that hip joint on the weighted leg. Let's see, 2 more things. Hold your belly tight because you really do need that extra support. And keep that touch soft. That's there to give you a little bit of help, but not to do the work of holding your body up. The last thing is, you're trying to keep your hip pointed down right now for this first set. I'm going to do 2 more, and I'm going to call that 15. And then I'm going to shake it out. And because I don't want to change that weight back and forth, I'm going to go ahead and do a second set with that same leg. I've got my hips reaching back, my belly nice and tight, posture's pretty. And this time I'm going to lift that leg up, and I'm going to open the hip as I go. And then as I bring it down, I'm going to go ahead and lift my knee up, giving me a little bit of an abdominal crunch. I'm going to scoot back a little bit more so it works better. Reach back and open, and pull it back in. So by letting that hip swing open, I'm getting a lot of good work in the supporting leg in that rotator set. Piriformis and some of the other guys that are moving that hip open. I only want to do 10 here. I'm working with a smaller muscle group. Try and get my arm out of the way so you can see what's going on with the hips. That's 8. Constantly breathing, constantly engaging through your core, and that's going to be 10. Now, I'm going to take that same leg, and I'm going to lift straight out to the side and down. Straight out to the side and down. Your toes are going to try and turn up because your hip flexors are pretty strong, but if you can keep that internal rotation at the thigh, you're going to feel a real party in your pants. Right there. There's 8. There's 9. And then I'm going to make it a little worse before it gets better. I'm going to hold that leg up, bend it at the knee, extend and bring it down. This is all done with a lot of control, and if you lean over a little bit, I won't tell anyone, but if you can keep your body more upright on that, you're going to feel it a little differently. How about 4 more? Feel good? How's that supporting leg feel? Not that great, right? last one. Now I'm almost ready to change sides, but before I do, I'm gonna lift that leg up behind me. My knees are pretty close together now, and I'm gonna take that leg out to the side and around, like I'm drawing a really big circle with my knee. Just doing some really good hip maintenance work today. You're getting a lot of abdominal work for your trouble, and you'll probably feel your buns tomorrow. 8, 9, and 10. Woo! So feeling a little bit lopsided right now. I'm gonna move my weight to the other leg. Okay, I'm back. Now, we're gonna do all of that to the other leg. So we've moved that weight, whether it's a dumbbell applied to the thigh or whether that's an ankle weight at the end of the foot, or nothing, body weight will be just fine. We got our arms extended, we got a soft touch on our surface, and we're gonna lift that leg out and back, and then just a little pull forward, just to put a little bit of stretch into that glute. How's that? Good. It's really tempting to swing the leg. It would be easier in the short term. But in the long term, we want that strong glute, and we want to be in charge of our stability. 7. I'm going to do 5 more. I'm calling that 15 on the straight leg. And I'll call these closed hip ones because you're keeping that hip pointed down rather than swinging it open. 2 and 1. So that was the big player that really works that glute maximus. We're going to get into our rotators first by setting up our good posture. And then we're going to bring that leg back. This time we're going to swing the hip open so my toes are pointed toward you. And then we're going to pull that in. Maybe giving a little knee lift right there for just the extra bonus abdominal work. So we're going to do 10 of these. And that supporting knees a little soft. And you're breathing. So you don't have to be perfect. Just do as best you can. Stay safe, and keep breathing. Everything else will work itself out. 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to kind of stand a little closer to my bench. And I'm going to take that leg out to the side and down. 10 of these. Right around now, you're starting to realize how much work that supporting leg is doing. It's a little tired from the other side. That's all right, that's why we're here. We go through tired to get to strong. It's either 9 or 10, I'm gonna do 1 more. And then we're gonna make it a little bit harder. So we're gonna lift, bend the knee, straighten and bring it down. And you'll see right away, I start with that little cheat. That's what I would call an acceptable cheat because I'm doing it. No, it's not unsafe if you're keeping your abdominals tight, but if you can leave that out of it, you're gonna work a little harder. I got 4 more. Really feeling that side glute today. 2 and 1. Good. So the last thing we're going to do with those hip circles, I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see them a little better. We've got our knees together. I'm going to take that leg out and around like I'm drawing a big circle with my knee. Obviously taking my my ankle that's holding the weight around with me. Moving that resistance. Or if I have the dumbbell, I could still just be resting that on my leg. Just ups your ante just a little bit. Feels good. Feels like it's getting rounder. 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm gonna take that off because we should never, ever, 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 ever walk with an ankle weight on. Ask me why and I'll explain. Or just trust me, because it's true. I hope you had a great workout today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 10.